For years, Blender user requested that one feature, the feature to have bloom or glow in the Cycles viewport. Now we have the option to make that effect in the viewport, and I will show you today in this tutorial how you can do this. This is a little small workaround, it is still the glow effect in the viewport. So let me show how you can do this. In this tutorial I will show you 3 cool glow effects that you can use. The first one will be the normal glow, as you can see here. The second one will be a bokeh glow, like this, and you can change even the shape, like 5 edges or completely round, and you can make cool effects with that, or even color shifting. And the last one will be a cinematic glow that you can use in a spaceship scene or something like that. And this is of course all in the viewport, so I can grab here another material from my material pack that is, by the way, on Gumroad. You can check that out, the link is in the description. We can for instance use a sci-fi material like this, and here you can see it is nicely glowing, and we can even change the strength in here and you can see it glow. Then, as said, we can choose here different styles, like the bokeh blur with nice effects like that, or the sci-fi blur that is a little bit... oh, we can mix them together like this. And let me show you how we can now make something like this. For this we will be creating a new scene. Don't want to save. And here we want to create now a very simple scene. I mean, it's just for visualization. You can use that in every scene that you want. But please remember, all those features are experimental. We will be using the real-time compositor. And these are highly new features. So please consider that your Blender might crash or that the performance is very slow. The real-time compositor is right now not the fastest, but it's a lot faster than the previous one. So we can use it in the viewport, but just keep that in mind. I will just use a plane and a cube, and then I will use some materials from my material pack. As said, the link of my material pack is in the description. You can use it everywhere. There's also a free version on Gumroad. You can check that out as well. And I will maybe use now the wet ground material and of course a world background. Maybe the sky or just the simple universe like this. Let me use another nice material for the cube that is not glowing. This one. Yeah, this one looks nice. Then I can subdivide it. How can we now make this thing glowing? Let me now change the emission strength. Something happened in here on the ground. How can we now get a nice glowing here in the viewport? For that we have to go into the compositor and we can check on use nodes. And if you don't have the real-time compositor enabled, sorry, I didn't set it, you have to use the Blender 3.4 alpha version. If it's possible, the newest one. If you didn't enable the real-time compositor, I will show you. It is in the preferences. Then you can go into the interface and click on developer extras. Then a new submenu will emerge. You can click on here and then you can click on real-time compositor, and don't forget to save your preferences, and then you're good to go. Then a new thing will be here in the when you're in the rendered mode. Here in the drop down menu you can now click on the compositing, and now everything you do in your compositor window will be displayed in the viewport if it's possible in real time. As said, it's not that fast right now, it's a little bit laggy, but for things like glow, it's relatively, it works. So how can we make glow? So the node glare is not supported right now. You can see it that nothing happens if we use it. So we have to work around a little bit, and we can do this with the blur node. So this is the first effect I will show you. So we can use the image into the blur and then to the compositing. So the compositing is the output that we now then see in the viewport here. And you can use the Gaussian, and with that we can blur everything. I will use the fast Gaussian and relative. So we have nice sliders here. And then you see we can blur it, but I mean, this is not glow. We don't see the original picture. So we have to add this to the original like this. And then we can adjust, of course, ratio a little bit like this, and I will take the strength a little bit down. So the problem we now have is that it blurs everything, even the dark parts. No, we don't need the viewer. And this is not what we want. We want to only have the glow on the bright parts. And we can achieve this if we will mix it with black. And we take as the original mask, we take our original image. And then we can use a color ramp at ease. We can flip this around. And now we can crop our image to only the white parts. And we can check here that we are also using only the white parts. So I will crop it even further, maybe like that. That should be the only thing that will get blurred, like this. And if we will add it back on the top, it will look a lot more like glare, like this. And you can, of course, always change the scale in here. And if you will use the normal Gaussian, it's also a little bit simpler. So if these numbers match up. And the second effect we can achieve is the bokeh blur. And we can just swap out our blur node with a bokeh blur. And as you can see, that doesn't look, I mean, if you want to have this look, of course it's possible, but we want to have round blurs. So we can achieve this by using here a bokeh picture, and we also have this. So if we will type in here bokeh, we can use a bokeh image. So you can get it from Shift and A, then you have the add menu, and then just type in the search bokeh. bokeh. Nice fun fact. bokeh, and then you can grab the bokeh image and you can drag this into the image of the bokeh blur. And now you have a mask of what your bokeh should look like. And here you can customize the shape of your bokeh. I want to have it round like this. And I also want a higher size. So remember, if you higher up the size, it gets a little bit slower. So if we will take it to 5, yeah, it is very slow. So please remember that. Otherwise, it's of course looking beautiful, and you can also play here with more effects like this one, and also the lens shift, and of course also both. So if you want to use that for nice effects, of course you're allowed to. And the last effect we want to make is of course the sci-fi effect. And for this we will be using our blur node again. but this time only blurring in the x-axis and only a little bit on the y, so it isn't that sharp, like this. But now we want to color it only to blue, and we can easily make this with the mix RGB node here after the blur node, and set it to color, and then use a nice blue color here. And depending to your scene, you can of course also use other colors, but I use sci-fi because it is in the sci-fi films used. And then you can play around with the settings, and I think this should be it. This was a quick introduction to how you can make. I hope it's a nice effect, and we can use this until developers will add the glare node. I have no idea if this approach will be faster than the glare node, but time will tell. So I think this should be then it. Thank you all for watching. If you want to support me, of course, you can go onto the Gumroad page, and there's also the material pack and also a free version. You can grab that for free if you want to, with nice materials, or if you want to give feedback or just want to chat. I have recently opened a Discord server with also a help category, so if you have questions, you can just go there, or just want to chat, you can just hop in here. The link is also in the description. And then thank you all for watching. See you later and have a great weekend. Bye.